So next up is another way I love to use either the foam roller or a rolled up blanket in order to help improve posture. And this one is really focused around stretching the pec muscles, opening the chest, and allowing the shoulders to come back and down. So you'll take the foam roller, instead of crossways on your mat, you're gonna have it elongated along the length of the yoga mat or the floor. This can also be a blanket rolled up too. But it's nice to make sure, if you're rolling a blanket, you'd have to open it up to about this length. It's just the blanket folded in half, right? And then rolling it from this length so that when you do lie on the blanket or the foam roller, your whole spine, from your tailbone to your low back, to your middle back, to your neck, to the back of your head, is all supported by either the foam roller or the rolled up blanket. So I'll be demonstrating it using the foam roller. So you sit on the edge of the foam roller, but make sure that you're pretty close to the edge. Otherwise, if you have a long torso like I do, your head will be off the end, and you don't want that. Lying back, and that's kind of the tricky part, is keeping your balance as you lower yourself down onto the foam roller. And then here, you'll notice that the shoulders can fall toward the floor. And this, just resting here, maybe with the hands on the navel or the hands on the floor, can feel like a really big stretch for people. Some people that have more severe forward head posture won't even be able to get your head quite to the foam roll, right? Because of the chronicity of your forward head posture. So if that's the case for you, you can find a blanket or a pillow and place that under the back of your head. And that just might make all the difference for making the next exercises more accessible and comfortable for your body. If you can, without strain, again, if we strain it, it's counter to what we want to do with the nervous system. So without strain, if you can get your head to the foam roller and it's comfortable and it doesn't like distract you or take your attention, then that's great. You can just stay flat on the foam roller. Some people experience a little bit of low back tenderness here, and if that's you, my suggestion is to lift your hips, send your tailbone toward your heels. That elongates your low back, and then lower back down so that your back is more flat on the foam roll. You can have your feet wider apart if you feel like you're losing your balance, or if you want to challenge your core a little bit, you can bring your feet closer together for more of a challenge. I'll take the middle road today. And then just resting here and doing your breathing practice while you're in this position can be profoundly helpful for just passively, gently elongating your pec muscles, opening the chest. And that is enough. Like if this feels like a challenge for your body or feels new to your body, it's not a position we spend a lot of time in. You might just stay here for 5 minutes, doing your deep exhale breathing, your parasympathetic breath, or 10 minutes or even 20 minutes. Sometimes coming home after a day at the office, and just resting in this position can be really profoundly restorative. So I want to invite you to stay as long as you like in this position. And then if you'd like to add a little bit more to this, you can begin by just exploring what is it like to bring your arms toward a T position, right? Some of us won't even be able to be here comfortably, and if that's you, you can stay down lower toward the hips, but see how far up the arms can go comfortably toward a T position. Can you keep your face soft, your neck relaxed? And then if this becomes comfortable, and it might take a few weeks of practicing this every day for this to become comfortable, but once this does, see what it's like if you bend the elbows into more of a cactus shape, right? If your arms are floating off of the floor here, This is not what we want, right? So if you aren't able to come into this position without lifting your arms off the floor, then don't do it. Go a little bit lower, back it up a little bit so that it's comfortable. Because here's what's happening to your nervous system. If you're trying really hard to be in the position, but your arms are just floating in space, it actually tightens these muscles more because they think they need to protect you because you don't have any base of support. So the support has to come from those muscles tightening. So you want to just go to a position where it's comfortable for you to be at rest, right? So the vagus comes online when we're restful and relaxed and we have a healthy social engagement system. So you don't want to be stressing your nervous system out just because you want to get all the way up to cactus arms, right? So be where you are and enjoy some deep breaths. Another way to work here is to just do these gentle snow angel shapes with the arms and never pushing through tension, but just inviting some movement here. And I've been doing this many years, right? So your snow angels might not look like mine, and that's okay, right? If your arms are floating off of the floor, then I would say just go back to where you can be comfortably with your arms touching the floor. If you are working with snow angels, see if you can keep some contact with the floor with your hands, at least, to just give that base of support throughout the movement. And then here, I'm going to rest in a position that feels comfortable. My arms are feeling like they've gotten plenty of stretch and work, so I'm coming back to where it feels very restful for me. And then know that in this position, you could also do the basic exercise, one of the first vagal reset exercises that we learned together, and that's just gently looking the eyes to the right for 10 or so breaths, or until you swallow or yawn or sigh. And looking forward again, and looking the eyes to the left until you sigh or yawn or swallow. And then back to the center. And just enjoying this moment of quiet. Enjoying offering your body these inputs, this feeling of safety, this freedom to open your heart. Exhaling longer than your inhale to invite a slower heartbeat, to give your vagus some positive inputs. And you can stay as long as you like, and when it's time for you to transition, very carefully, you're up high, so just be very slow and mindful as you roll off of the foam roller to one side and hold yourself there for a moment just to allow your body to recalibrate to the different position. And then slowly press yourself up to sit. And again, just know that you have the option to use the rolled up blanket instead of the foam roller. And if you want even more support, you could roll 2 blankets, one around and the other, to make it even thicker and larger. So Be well, and let me know how these practices are going for you. Just the last few practices with the foam roller are what have made significant changes in some of my yoga clients and physical therapy patients with forward head posture and the ability to stack the shoulders over the hips and the ears over the shoulders. So looking forward to hearing from you about how this goes.